Hello and welcome to Irish Science Fiction. My name is Brian Sexton and you are listening to, if you hang round, the final chapter of a story called Nancy Goodame the Space Ranger. So, a hen, it's a daw, it's a tree, and away we go. Nancy ran round the circular metal stairs, round and down, down and round. Her feet clanked and echoed against the steel walls. She could hear other footsteps below. Jerry Staunton's. European Space Agency Mission Commander Jerry Staunton's. The man Jupiterians had come to know as Chancellor Staunton. And then the rhythm of the footsteps changed. They got faster. They were no longer ascending. Nancy exited the stairs onto a long elevated transparent walkway, and the dim blue artificial light of the stairwell gave way to a sea of artificial light below. Nancy ran onto the walkway. It spanned a large gap from the tower she'd been descending to another building several hundred metres away. The walkway was far above the city below, but Nancy could make out figures moving about rapidly in the artificially lit open spaces. And beyond them, in the distance, was a city that sprawled into a mess of badly lit built environment. She looked ahead. She was gaining ground. She was close enough to be heard. "Commander Staunton!" she shouted. His footsteps slowed and then came to a complete stop, and he slumped against the transparent side wall of the walkway, exhausted. "Why are you running?" asked Nancy. "You never liked me. Admit it." "What are you talking about? Bart is dead." "Bart never liked me either. Only he had the decency not to hide it. May he rest in peace." "Bart didn't like many people." "He liked you, Nancy. He tolerated me. Why are you running away?" "For the same reason I launched the Sanlaika module, Nancy. For the same reason I served in the court of Sosman. To stay alive." "I wasn't going to kill you. You left me and Bart to die on Mars. Why would you do that?" "Attention, all Jupiterians!" The voice echoed along the long walkway and shook the transparent floor beneath the slumped Jerry and standing Nancy. It echoed out into the city below and into the distant darkness beyond. "I see your tubby friend has found Sosman's intercom," noted Nancy's mission commander. "My name is Functolius Habadonga Carlo Hustle III, former sheriff of Mars City, and I have an announcement for you all, so listen to me." "Your friend and Sosman have something in common, Nancy. He liked to announce things too." "I," continued the disembodied voice, "am your new ruler, and hereby order all Sosnaks to swear a pledge to me, and join with the army of darkness, and make the necessary preparations for the invasion of planet Mars." "Why would you leave me and Bart to die, Jerry?" continued Nancy. "I didn't." "You did, Jerry. We both saw the module launch. Have you spoken to Control, or Sanlaika too?" "What do you think, Nancy?" "No. Noah's right, Nancy. I was captured and taken to Jupiter by a Sosnak patrol. They were fascinated by physics, and how the Sanlaika could operate without magic. I traded my knowledge of science for privilege and started a new life on Jupiter. Tell me, Nancy, do they sound like the actions of a man who had been speaking to Control?" "No." "And you? I take it you haven't been talking to Control or anyone outside of this?" Jerry gestured outside of the transparent walkway and pointed above to unfamiliar constellations. "This madness. The only normal thing I've encountered since our failed descent onto Mars is you. And the last time I saw you was in a crater on Mars with Bart and a Martian gorilla." "It wasn't a failed descent. We landed perfectly, and the creature is known locally as a cantabular glimp," corrected Nancy. "See, that's just it. You know what the thing is called. You shouldn't know that. Can you remember anything from Earth?" Nancy didn't reply immediately. She looked up to the stars. One of them represented light reflecting from a place she once knew. Somewhere impossibly distant, but constant. Home. "A little," she said quietly. "Well, I can remember nothing. I mean, I know I'm human, but when I try to think of something or someone specific, I draw a blank. Except for you. And Bart. I can remember ye well." "It's just you and me now," said Nancy. "Bart died 2 chapters ago." "And that is the thing, Nancy. How can you know that?" "Attention again, Jupiterians!" crackled the amplified voice. "If there are any engineers and construction workers listening, I want you to construct a lift or a moving staircase to the grand throne room in Hoblo Graniker, and a toilet. Sosman may have been a very great man, but his disregard of indoor plumbing was shameful. That is all." The announcement echoed into the distance across the vast city landscape below the transparent elevated walkway. "Your friend seems to be settling in well, Nancy." "But why did you abandon us?" "I didn't. You're already dead. You had to have been. We all had to have been. Something went wrong with the descent. The plasma cloud didn't make sense. None of us survived the landing. It's the only explanation." "But you left us behind." "I just did what I had to do to survive, Nancy. I've always been the odd one out. You and Bart never liked me. Nobody ever liked me. Sure, you gave me the superficial respect of rank, so we can get through the day. But you don't like me. At least here I had status, proper status, or I did, while Sosman was still alive. I don't know what you're talking about, Jerry. We need to make contact with Earth. We need to try and get home. This is home now. Only I don't want to have to do this to you, Nancy. It's why I ran. You know this place too well, better than I do. With you here, it's no longer my story, it's yours. I mean, take the combobular flimp. You mean the cantabular glimp? Yes, exactly. You know what it is. You found your way here. Another planet. After being left for dead. With nothing but an EVA suit, a pair of silicon boots and a 4-hour supply of oxygen. It's you. It's always been about you. And the only way for me to survive is to make it about me. I'm sorry, Nancy. Attention all Jupiterians! This has been a very long wait. Now, things may have been different under Sosman, but if I don't get the things for which I have properly requested, I will have to order the Army of Darkness to inflict pain on any lift engineers they may find. That is all. Nancy waited for the echo of the intercom to fall silent. Relax, Commander. I don't understand either, but this is not a normal situation, and people can take things differently. I don't think you really meant to leave us to die on Mars. I'm apologising for this. Former European Space Agency Mission Commander and former Sosniak Chancellor Jerry Staunton staggered to his feet, wheezed, and pulled a small cloth bag from an inside pocket of his blue Sosniak uniform. You have plenty to be sorry for, Commander, but it doesn't matter now. Bart is dead, and neither of us might ever get home because of your actions. Jerry fumbled with the cloth bag and pulled out a tiny green sliver of rock. None of us were ever going to get home, Nancy. I don't know what this place is, but it's not the place of living things, or living things as we know them, or used to know them. Nancy pointed to the cloth bag and tiny green slice of rock. What are you doing, Jerry? She asked. What does it look like I'm doing? Standing in a glass tunnel holding some sort of crystal on Jupiter. Listen to yourself, Nancy. What does that tell you? I know what it tells me. Attention all Jupiterians! Crackled the intercom. I, Functolius Habadonga, Carlo Hustle III, former Sheriff of Mars City, current leader of Jupiter, and Commander-in-Chief of the Army of Darkness, hereby order Jupiterians in the city of Hobblegraniker to hit your nearest plumber a kick and tell them to report to the Central Citadel. They are urgently needed. It tells me, Nancy, continued Jerry, that this is a place of magic, and it is no place for humans. Our minds bend and crumble and warp without science. Jerry held a sliver of green rock so that it caught the reflected lights from the cityscape below. This little rock defies everything you or me ever knew. Our world doesn't exist anymore. There is no going home. Attention all Jupiterians and citizens of Hobblegraniker in particular. This is your leader again. If any of the recent arrivals from the Labyrinth of Chunticle know where Martina Ruddlesplitch is, they should inform her that we are urgently in need of food at the Citadel. That is all. Jerry stared impatiently at the sliver of rock while the noise from the intercom faded into silence. They power spaceships with this rock, you know. Does that sound like anything a human could do to you, Nancy? I don't know, said Nancy. I think maybe you are a bit lost. Earth is above us. It's one of those stars. I felt it. It's still there. I know it. Well, I know, Nancy. I know this much. The minute you showed up, everything fell apart. Sosman died. He was not a popular man, you know. He was hated by Jupiterians. And in my short time here, I was hated by them too. Just like you and Bart hated me. And before you say anything else, I know well ye did. But this crystal is going to change things. They power their weapons with it too, you know. And I'm going to use it to control them. And make these people respect me. Fear me. And make this my story again. I'm going to unleash its power and, forgive me, Nancy, but I have to start by killing you. How? Asked Nancy. And why? We need to contact Earth. You're being daft, Commander. You can't control this place. Nobody can. Sure, you just ran out of puff trying to run away from me. Cop on to yourself. The how is this magic crystal. Jupiterian magic can make all sort of things happen. Now watch this. Ah! European Space Agency Mission Commander and former Jupiterian Sosniak Chancellor Jerry Staunton then pointed the crystal in the direction of Nancy. And nothing happened. Attention all Jupiterians! Crackled the intercom for a fourth time. When you were talking to Martina, tell her we're very hungry, so even though it's late, there'll be no harm in us eating a full dinner. That's an official decree from Functolius Habadonga Carlo Hustle III, former Sheriff of Mars City and current leader of Jupiter. I don't know what you're at, Jerry, but please, stop it. Jerry lowered the crystal and stared at it, and then out to the expansive city below, and then back at Nancy. You're right, Nancy. I was wrong. I thought there could only be one of us here. Like some sort of cosmic destiny. I don't know what I thought. I just thought I was right. It just felt like only one of us could survive here. But I was wrong. Two of us can. The crystal did nothing. You need to take it easy, Commander. Vlachamp! Something shot over Nancy's head and smashed into the skull of former European Space Agency mission commander and former Sosniak Chancellor Jerry Staunton, and pulverised it, and left his torso slumped back against the transparent wall of the walkway. "You forgot your crossbow, Nancy!" yelled Bip. Nancy looked behind to see a brightly clothed Jupiterian, and then looked back to see the slumped, head-mangled former European Space Agency mission commander. "What have you done, Bip?" she yelled. "I smashed Chancellor Staunton's head with a Tamagolodian axe! You should know that! You were right there looking at him when it happened! You were lucky I came along! You forgot your crossbow!" "Why would you do that, Bip?" "No small reason, just one big reason. And that is because I am the founding member of the Habla Graniger Defence League. Well, one of the founding members of the Habla Graniger Defence League, but the only one who saw our mission through, which was to free Jupiter from tyranny by killing Sosman Borkstapel and his buddies. You should know that. It's the first thing I told you when we met, way back in chapter 12. Hold on, Bip. What did you just say? I said no small reason, one big reason, that I am the founding... No, not that bit. The bit about chapter 12. Back when we first met. Nancy looked up, and then down through the transparent floor of the walkway to the Jupiterian city hundreds of metres below. The commander was right, she said. What do you mean Commander Staunton was right? Are you going daft, Nancy? Oh wait, I see what's going on now. You're upset. Chancellor Staunton was a buddy of yours, wasn't he? Sorry, I forgot that. It's just, Sosniaks are my sworn enemy, or at least they used to be. I'm ambivalent about them now that Sosman is dead and we have a new ruler. Nancy stared at Bip and stretched out her hands so that they pointed towards the dark night sky above. What is this? Are you part of a story, Bip? Everyone is part of a story, Nancy. Stories are how living creatures understand the universe. Even the Bongerlon, praise be upon his unmotorious wisdom, is a story. Sure, even the Book of Bongerlon is a story. How could you not know that? Oh wait, you're from Earth. Yes. The answer is yes. The intercom crackled into life and boomed. Attention all Jupiterians! This is your leader speaking. From now on, I want all bath towels to bear the likeness of my face, so that when you are cleaning yourself, you become reminded of me and my greatness. That is all. The voice echoed across the city and shook the transparent elevated walkway containing Bip, Nancy, and her former mission commander. And 3 figures appeared at one end of the walkway. A former tunnel-digging noob known as 06351, an elderly Bundrosnian shopkeeper known as Haban Unterwackel, and a limping elderly shopkeeper known as Shinabel Unterwackel. I don't know where you were going to, son, yelled Haban. But you better keep walking. That tubby friend of yours is after going stone mad. The stuff he's coming out with is even worse than what Borkstapel used to go on with. Bip and Nancy ran to Haban, Shinabel, and the young noob and helped the hobbling Shinabel to stay upright. Your mother's right, he croaked. The man is pure daft. Much worse than Sosman. Do you think you could get the Habla Graniger Defence League back together? We need to do something about the sheriff. I don't know, said Bip. It'll be tricky. Morkler and Mjokta are dismembered inside of Breezy McAspel's Muffledorf chest. And you know what she's like. Maybe you could have a word with her. Didn't the two of you have a fling one time? Whisht, will you, Gumgaller, your mother's listening, hissed Shinabel. I heard that, Shinabel, and you'll be doing more than limping if you ever go sniffing around that old battle axe again, snarled Haban. I've enough of armies and freedom. I want to go back to the labyrinth of Chuntigal. I knew where I stood there, cried Noob 06351. And the food was good. It's too late for that now, Noob. You had your chance to do that and you left it, said Bip. Bip looked at Nancy. This is going to be very tricky, Nancy. Will you help us? We're going to need help to defeat the sheriff. And you brought him here. Yes, said Nancy. And that was it for midnight on the 9th day of the first human expedition to another planet. 1 remaining crew member, outer space, and a story in need of a hero. Far, far away, on planet Earth, in a bedroom, 2 children closed the final pages of a book and opened a chapter of their lives. Sinead on scale. Mila Buekas. That's the end of the story. Thank you for listening. If you stuck through the whole thing, fair play to you. Have my appreciation. And if you fancy doing more adventuring, there'll be another one coming out in autumn. This time it'll be called The Adventures of Special Agent Black Socks, about an extraterrestrial who was tasked with destroying planet Earth but ends up going native. So again, thank you very much. Chat to you again.